All righty. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings, everyone. All right, let's see. Let's make sure. Oh, definitely got to change that. A little late night live with my creative peeps. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, let's get this all shared out. All shared out. All shared out. Because I'm almost there. Let's see here. All right, if you are watching the live playback of the, I'm sorry, not the live playback. Well, because that's definitely, if you're watching live, you're watching the playback. If you are watching the playback of this broadcast, this is a live broadcast. Therefore, we're not jumping right into the subject matter at hand. So what I am going to do to help you guys out, if you're watching the playback of this, I'm going to go ahead and put a thumbnail up on the screen, and once this is gone, you will know that I have shared it all out and we are getting started. Okay. But in the meantime, between time, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from, whether you're watching live or if you are watching the playback. Let me know where you are watching from. Let me know what you do in the creative space. Today is going to be Teaching Tuesday. There are some things that I came across that I want to kind of discuss, but I'm also going to be answering, questions on this evening. I don't always do a lot of evening live videos and Q&As. I like to try and sprinkle them in there every now and then. I try to keep regular hours, kind of like a 9 to 5 when I'm doing like my videos and stuff. But I know that you guys are at your actual like 9 to 5. So I am, I try and get one in every once in a while. All right, let's see here. Hmm. Okay. Hello, t-shirts, tumblers. I tried dabbling in it all. Thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate it, friend. How are you? Let's see here. Thank you for hopping on from Georgia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm trying to share it all out. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. You can start, like, this will be Q&A based. Like I said, I do have a couple things on sizing and design type stuff that I do want to kind of discuss based off of some questions I saw in groups. But I want to answer your question. I want to be able to teach you the things that you need to know. So we encourage you guys to post your questions in the chat. Uh-oh. Okay. Close that out. Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. All right, Control A, copy, and share to my groups. Let's do another share. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Thank y'all for double tapping the screen. You are super sweet. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. I can't tell who that was. Thank you for the follow. I saw the follow, but I didn't see the name that popped up. So let me go over here and share this once again. As you guys come in the room, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. Let me know what you do in the creative space. Feel free to start dropping your questions in the chat, because we want to help you learn some new things, help ease some of your frustrations in your craft journey, in your entrepreneurship journey, in your creative journey. We just want to be able to help you navigate that the most efficient way possible, okay? If this is your first time here, first time catching me live, or first time like just hearing my voice, I'm not going to say see my face today because you won't really see my face. So if your first time hearing my voice and learning from me, go ahead, drop that in the chat as well. Let me know if you are new here so we can give you a proper greeting. All right, we are all shared out. All shared out. All right, so hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you for hopping on. Oh, somebody else from Cali. I saw Cali over on TikTok as well. Hey, Aquisha. Thank you for dropping the peacocks. Hello, hello, Loretta, Terrence, LaShonda, Benjamin, Ms. Brown, Joy. Welcome, welcome. Incredible greetings. Hey, hey, hey. LJ Walker. That's my city girl, period. From thank you for joining from Fayetteville. She says the Canva class was fire last night and the recordings are up. I got them up. I'm kind of sort of tired. I'm working off an hour of sleep. Zani Mani had a really bad headache last night. He was restless. He couldn't sleep. Ended up taking him to the emergency room at 4:00 this morning. So if you know, I had to stuff with my dad. Now I'm doing with Zani Mani. And it was just crazy. And we didn't leave there until like 11 something, I think. No, it was before that. It was like 9:30, I think is when we left. By the time we got home, it was like nearly 12 because I had to go to other doctor's appointment that he was supposed to have today. But I got like maybe like an hour and a half of sleep, and I'm working kind of not really on fumes, but I'm up. I didn't want to go back to sleep too early because then I would be up all night long. So I'm trying to force myself to stay up, but I did get the playbacks uploaded. So check your dashboards. If you are in Creative Lounge or if you enrolled in the class by itself, check your dashboard. The playbacks are up. Okay. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, girl. Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So real quick introduction. I am Shakeya, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best sublimation paper and ink. If you don't know, with our sublimation paper, you are able to sublimate as low as 365 degrees and as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper required on top, as it does not gas out and bleed through the back. Now, of course, when you're doing certain things and you're having a bleed, and that can be on your bottom platen, you have to worry about that. If you're doing something like tumblers or mugs, you don't have to worry about putting additional butcher paper to protect the heating element of your mug press, things of that nature. So definitely check out the products. They are very, very affordable. We are right now in our lowest price of the season sale. We don't really participate in Black Friday, Cyber Monday for products. We do for classes. So take advantage of them now, because they will be going away this weekend, as far as the deals and stuff on the paper. Okay. Let's see. I teach mainly from Silhouette Studio. I've been using Silhouette Studio or the Silhouette system for 11, almost 12 years now. Because my niece is 10, no, maybe 10, 11. Somewhere in there. Okay. I started like right when my sister was actually pregnant with my niece. And no, my niece is 10 this year. So about 11 years. Yeah. So about 11 years I've been using Silhouette Studio. I love it as an introductory graphic designing software because you can do so much in it. It's absolutely free to use. Now, in order to unlock certain features, like being able to save as PNGs, JPEGs, PDFs, SVGs, being able to open up SVGs, you do have to have one of the paid upgrades. It's a one-time fee. It's not something you have to pay for monthly, but there's a lot that you can do in the software. If you go through like my pages, my videos, you'll see like I'm not talking just basic things. I create a lot of really, really cool, amazing things in Silhouette Studio, but I also teach Photoshop. We had an amazing Canva class. Canva is one that I personally prefer to use more so for marketing and branding. I like it for educational things that I create for my son. I like it for just branding and marketing, ebooks or guides in general. So that's what I mainly use it for. I'm not big on like creating t-shirt designs and things like that over there. I can do all those things in Silhouette Studio. So that's just my preference, but we are dibbling and dabbling. I do know how to use a program. Once you kind of know design, most of these programs become really, really easy to use and understand. You just have to know about those little things that, like the limitations. I like teaching on the limitations of programs so that you don't wreck your brain trying to make it do something that it's simply not going to do. I like to break down graphic designing or just designing principles and concepts so that, again, you're not wrecking your brain trying to do something that no matter what program you use, you're not going to be able to like do certain things. That's my superpower, all right? We also teach all things sublimation. Hello, we have a sublimation line. We do teach all things like with regular prints, party favors and memorials, like designing and printing of obituaries and fans, spirit fans, graduation fans. We do stoles, we do stickers, keychains. There's a wealth of knowledge over here within the creative, or, for some of you guys, you like the word crafts. So there's a lot of knowledge over here within the craft space. I see a question over here or something about Epson printer. I specialize in Epson printers and being able to help you figure out certain things and troubleshoot. So you can post questions about Epson printers as well. The only thing that I ask is that you guys engage with me, help me push my platform. I am providing you professional information and knowledge and guidance that people charge a whole lot of money for. All I'm asking is that you engage. At least say hello in the chat to help push the broadcast. Give the video a like. If you're watching over on YouTube, click out of the live stream, like the live chat, exit out, go give the video a like, and then come back and join us, join the conversation in the chat, tag a friend, share it out. I'm not asking, you can, there are people that definitely go and bless the Cash App or the Zelle, which, we're always grateful and appreciative of. I know when Ms. Dawn is on, she always says, I'm going to buy you a cup of coffee. Well, she'll buy my frappe. So she'll send, a super chat, and she's like, that's for your coffee. So we, more than welcome to, but what I really, really would like for you guys to do is just to help push the platform. That way, those who are subscribed and who have their bells on, sometimes they don't get notifications. They are able to get those notifications when you guys are active on the actual live video. And that way people can get help in real time. I want to be able to help as many people as possible while I am on live. Okay. So with all that being said, let's see if we do have some questions in the chat as of right now, before I kind of dive into some things about sizing. So I do see one here that says, I had Epson 7710. It died. What's the best printer to get? And then I'm so sad for you. My 7720 has been super weird lately. My heart is breaking. Okay, here's the thing, right? There are a lot of printers that you can utilize. Are you using it for sublimation or just as a regular printer for things like chip bags and water bottle labels, Capri Suns, stickers, buttons, post like mini posters? Is it for regular prints or was it for sublimation? Thank you, Jane. Yes, the Canva class was definitely fire. As usual, it was very detailed. And I believe a little over 3 hours or more. Yes, it was. But it's broken down into like smaller sections, smaller chunks. Ooh, hello from St. Lucia. Sublimation, but printer for regular prints also. Okay. So when it comes to sublimation, I am at a point where if you are able to swing it, I would say get the true Epson sublimation printer, which is the F570. Yes, it's a 24-inch printer, but it does have the print slot for 13 by 19, up to 13 by 19. You can print out the sheets. So I am not saying that. So let's go Epson printers. I am not saying that you cannot use the printers that you will see all throughout the groups, which is the Epson EcoTank 15,000, the 8550. They can be used, right? But you run into issues like color, because they use dye ink, which is a slightly lower density than sublimation ink. You have a higher probability of clogs. And for me, I just don't care for the colors. It's the same way I don't really care for any of the smaller format printers. I tried it once just for teaching purposes, to be able to set it up, put our paper, put our ink in it, for video content purposes, and to push sales for our ink. But I was always transparent that, hey, if y'all are going to buy it anyway, you might as well just buy our ink, because we'll help you along the way. But do know that you're going to have some issues with color. The 15,000 and the 8550, they are no different because they use dye-based inks. As far as a recommendation, so hear me and hear me clear, I am not saying that these are the only printers that you can use. People ask for my recommendation. The only printers that I recommend to convert for sublimation, oops, not 500, that's the old one, is the ET 16600 or the ET 16650. Now, these printers are $1,000. If you're able to get one of the refurbished ones, as you can see here, it's $649. These are pigment ink based printers, which means the color is closer to sublimation, and you're going to get better color output, closer to like authentic colors when you are using a pigment ink based printer. So that's my recommendation. ET 16600 if you can find them, because the ET 16650 is the exact same printer. It just prints like a couple of pages faster, and that's, to me, is not worth it for an extra $139 or $29 or something like that. So I would recommend the 16600. But if in store they only have the 16650, you kind of have to go with that one. Or get a true Epson F570, which is a 24-inch printer. It costs $2,000, I think like $600 or something like that. Or you can also get the one that doesn't have Epson Edge Pro, which is like their kind of like print software or RIP software. So they have one where you can just do regular prints. There's no color management with it. And that one is a couple $100 less if you go that route. But they try to push you to get the Epson Edge Pro because that has color management and all that kind of good jazz. That's like $2,600. But converting wise, it's going to be this. The new workforces, the extra row of pinwheels is absolutely annoying. And when it comes to converting, there is no like automatic reset option. Not for the chips. There is no continuous ink system. Now, there is someone that says like there's now this kind of like chipless firmware, but you got to do all this other stuff. I do have a printer. I'm not looking to do like all this stuff they say you have to do for that because it's a complicated process. But there is no chip resetter. There are no auto reset chips. There is no continuous ink system with auto reset chips. Even if you get the tank system for the Workforce 7820, 7840, 7310, you still have to change out the chips. So that can get kind of, when it comes to that. All right. As far as a regular printer, this is also an amazing printer to get for that. Just for regular print purposes, the 8550 is also a pretty decent printer. Although it uses dye-based ink, if you are printing on coated paper, it doesn't run. I did a video where I was showing that printing from a dye-based printer, which I have a Canon Pixma, that if it's coated paper, it doesn't run. But if it's not coated, you can see all of the colors running. So that's my recommendation, sublimation and for regular prints, okay? Yes, it is. Make sure that you guys are checking your dashboard. All of the lessons and things are there. And that one said Canva 101. So yes, it is included. Is there a difference between first and second class is the payment method? Do you mean what's in the description? Yeah, so if you're meaning the links that are in the description, then one was just going directly, it says it on there. One was going directly through the Academy site, especially if you wanted to use Klarna or Afterpay or Cash App, and then through the shop site if you needed to use Sezzle. Both places have access to like PayPal. And then, of course, you get rewards points when you purchase it through the shop site. All right. But it is included in the Creative Lounge. Incredible greetings. Craftastic tips with Shawnee D. No, it's a Q&A. And so someone asked a question about printers. Okay, so I want you guys to ask questions. I don't understand why it is that you got, some of you guys are newbies. Some of you guys know that you're struggling. There's no need to be embarrassed by it. Get the help that you need to make sure that you are successful, that you can get to them coins for the holidays. If you are someone that's trying to, do any type of creating, I'm seeing an influx of the tables. We're actually going, today is what? Today's Tuesday. Yes. So tomorrow is our design session, and we are actually going over just table setups and things of that nature. On tomorrow in Creative Lounge, because we have our design session, our design challenge session. There we go. And then we have another session on Friday, which is a general learning session. I will drop the topic. I don't know. I've gotten some feedback. We may continue with Canva in the Creative Lounge on Friday, just to kind of really go through going through some like design type things in Canva. So we may stick with Canva for the session on Friday for the creative lounge. But yeah, so make sure that you guys are just, like I said, posting your questions, getting the help that you need so that you can get to the coins. Like I said, some people are doing the trays. I'm seeing a lot of people trying to do the Grinch boxes. And I'm like, oh, hey, is there a template? What's the size for it? Guys, it's a ruler. If you are a crafter, you are a creator, I know you have to have some sort of ruler, measuring tape. If you don't, let that be your next purchase. You should not be a crafter or a creator and not own a few rulers, and not just ones that are just a 12-inch ruler. You need you a yardstick or a T-square or a tape measure. You must have these things because designing and being able to set the designs up, size them properly, it's the foundation of everything that you do. Okay, so make sure that you do have a ruler. But this is a help session. Whatever your question is, we want to help you. It's Teaching Tuesday, so we want to teach you some things, learn you some things. Okay, I do have a few topics, but I don't want that to be the only thing that we kind of discuss today. I want you guys to be in on the conversation and drop your questions, concerns, inquiries, things of that nature. Okay. My 15,000, I have a 15,000. My waist tape saying almost full. Do I need a chip reader? And is that easy? So no, you do not. When it comes to the larger printers, they are designed for you to change out the waste tank. You will just need to purchase one. So it's not just like taking that, resetting it, because the pads in there is full of ink. So you definitely need to change that out. They're not expensive. You can buy them online. So those printers are made where you can take the waste tank out, put a new one in, and on the screen, you're going to go and tell it, hey, I replaced this, and to reset the levels. The people that have to worry about getting like a resetter, purchasing a waste ink, like code and stuff like that, are the ones who have the like the 2800, 2700, 2400, because those were meant to be, hey, once this waste tank is full, hey, it's time for you to get a new printer. So with those, although you can buy, because it's the same waste tank as the other ones, you can buy one, you have to also purchase a reset key. But for the 15,000, the 8550, ones like that, the 16600, 16650, just purchase the waste tank and replace it. That's it. Is there a way to check the DPI in Silhouette Designs? I usually check in Affinity, but curious. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm glad you asked that, because this is a part of the discussion for today. This DPI has y'all in a chokehold, and it's because y'all keep going to these DTF printers and they're talking about DPI, and it has y'all in a major chokehold, and y'all aren't understanding. I need y'all to double tap the screen. I need you to hit like, because we need to get as many people in the room. Since we're going to go ahead and jump into this, I've had discussions about this before. Those who are in Creative Lounge, we have had detailed, and I mean detailed. I'm going to just kind of scratch the surface, but in my design class, I talk about this. The Photoshop class, we talked about this. Creative Lounge, we talk about this. So we have a lot of classes if you really want to get into it. This is why I push graphic designing. So many people, so many coaches and mentors try to get me to do and focus on the crafting. Oh, that's what the people want. The people on my team and, the people who are in my circle that I discuss things with, they're always trying to get me to focus on the craft stuff. Oh, get the people what they want. They want to learn how to make the things. Look at all these people making all this money, making the table. Shakeya, you can show how to make a table. Why? For it to sit here, I don't have a need for one. They're not paying me enough. Like some people, maybe they're making it and they're going to do the video because they're making it. I don't have a desire to make this table with all this graphic design type stuff on it. I personally don't see the purpose of a lot of these learning tables. I know this is probably going to hurt my platform. Y'all don't want to hear that. As someone that's big on education, if you're not going to sit there and like some of the information that people are mixing into the learning tables, they don't quite match the age group that it's for. And I'm just like, okay. If the parents aren't going to go there and go through numbers, what's the purpose of having a multiplication and a subtraction addition if they don't know it and you're never going over it, they're just going to look at the pretty pictures. So I just can't, as much as people keep telling me, Shakeya, it's what they want, just give it to them. I in good conscience cannot, because I can't have people thinking that I endorse some of these learning tables that aren't going to be really be beneficial to children. I'm really big on that. I have a kid that requires extra attention, and I understand good foundation when it comes to education and things that they should kind of focus on. And these tables are you guys just kind of picking some random stuff and just putting it on there. So yeah, I just can't focus on that. My whole thing that I have built my business on is having you guys understand designs. Because once you see something, it's easy to want to mimic it. Go find some elements, go find the fonts and things like that. But you guys are not taking the time to understand design concepts, design principles. What is DPI, or pixels per square inch? Understanding composition, your layout, proportions. That knowing that you cannot make a design that's a rectangle, but you want to place it on something that is a square and expect to see your entire design, or not have it cut off or squished. It's just not going to happen. So many of you guys are bypassing the fundamentals of designing, and this is where a lot of your issues are coming in at. Yes, we want to get into DTF. We want to get into UVDTF. We think that's going to make our life so much easier, doing this way, and I don't want to weed. Sublimation is limited, but you're not taking the time to actually understand it. When it comes to putting these designs together, if you are using like pre-made PNGs, JPEGs, elements that were already made and you're bringing them in, if your client is sending you a picture, if that picture, that element, that JPEG, that PNG, if it was grainy to begin with, it is going to be grainy. There is no way for you to change the DPI and miraculously make this look better, print better, not be blurry, thinking that there is this magic button that you go and you put 300 DPI and it's instantly better. No, that's not the case. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. If your images that you're bringing in are not clear, if they're pixelated, no matter how big you size them, you're kind of stuck with that. When it comes to printing, if you are doing anything digital, y'all can kind of sort of relax on the 300 DPI. It's digital. Things look great on your phone anyway because it's a smaller screen. When it comes to printing, you can have something that's 100 and it's designed at 100 DPI, right? The resolution, or 100 PPI, pixels per square inch, not really the DPI. You can design it that way. If it's to scale, it's going to look amazing when you print it out at that size. People will say 300 in case it has to be scaled up. You don't want it to lose distortion. 300 DPI is like kind of like that threshold where it doesn't change the file size. But you can do 200, you can do 100, you can do 72 if you are to scale. And if that's when you are creating all of the elements yourself. Let's say if you're in Photoshop and you are adding the brush strokes and the text and adding the color and things of that nature. When it comes to taking a photograph, if they did not have a high resolution camera or had it on the higher setting, there's nothing that you are going to be able to do to make that a professional quality or make that a better picture. That should not be your concern. If they want something done with a picture and they send it to you that way, print that ish as is. because that starts with whatever camera they use, whether it was a professional camera or if it was a camera phone. Did they bother to clean their lens? I see so many people trying to fix these images and they're in groups. Can someone help me clear this up? And I'm so that thing in Canva, it's supposed to like fix it, and it does not fix it. It really doesn't. That is for it works for certain things, but it just doesn't improve the quality of most of these pictures. So let's talk about what DPI really is, okay? You have to think of it like this. Multiply it. If I wanted something that was I wanted it to be 11 by 17, right? 11 times 72, that means that pixel size would be 72. If I was doing it by 100, 11 times 100, that means that DPI would be 1100. If it was 200, it would be 2200. If it was 300, it's going to be 3300. If it's 19. So when we're looking at pixel size, right? So we're going to go over to, let's just go over back to Google. And let's see. I need you guys to call out something. Call out a logo, a character. Call out something. Type it in the chat. Something for me to search. Put in the chat something for me to search. And also, hold on. Okay, Bluey. All right, so we're on Bluey, right? I'm going to click here. And what you end up seeing is this number right here, right? So this is 680 by 893. This looks to be pretty clear, right? He doesn't have a lot of color halos and blurriness and things of that nature, right? If we wanted this, okay, so if it was optimized at 300 DPI, this is 680. Optimize at 300 DPI, how we multiply, you now want to divide. So 680 divided by 300, that means that this image would look its best at only 2 inches tall. Now, you could go maybe to about 4, maybe even 6 or 8. But now if you try and take this to 20 inches tall, it can become distorted. So I'm going to go copy image. We're going to bring this into Studio. We're going to go paste. So this came in at 6 inches. So at 100, it's about where it was at, right? So I'm going to kind of zoom in on it. And you're going to see a little bit of pixelation around the eyes, right? But that is because I am zoomed in completely, okay? I am fully zoomed in. Shoot, what was this? Oh, man, I don't know. Okay, shoot, I don't know what that goes to. So I'm just going to take that out because I need to plug in my phone. But that's because I'm zoomed in. But if this was printed out at 2 inches, 3 inches, you wouldn't really see that pixelation, right? Now, if I were to take this and blow it up, I don't have to zoom in as much to start to see that pixelation because I've made it bigger. So I'm not going to get those really, when this was designed, this had some really, really clean lines. So what pixelation is, I'm going to make a couple of boxes, right? Oh, come on. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. All right, let's say I wanted to make I'm going to put a circle here, right? We're talking about pixels, it can't really do a full on, like, you're not really making a circle, it's filling in the pixels. So in order for this to be filled in, completed pixels would be like here. So it would be ungroup, it's going to be let's ungroup all of this. Okay, it's ungroup here, 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 here. This one is fully in there. This one is fully in there. This one. Oh, wait, no, not really this one or this one. It has to be like the ones really technical. Okay, I'll just kind of put it like this. Like, let's say it's that one, right? That is how that circle would look, because it means like dots per square inch, pixels per square inch. So for an inch, if there's only 100 of those squares for every inch, if you needed a circle, because nothing is curved, everything is made up in these square boxes, your circle will end up looking like this. But if you have that same circle and you had more pixels to fill it in, which I'm going to now use my lasso tool and all right, why is my lasso tool not working? Oh, okay, there it is. How do I select those? So same exact circle, but do we see how this starts to look more like a circle than this does? That is the premises of what DPI or PPI, pixels per square inch, dots per square inch, that is the premises of what it is. How much color fills into like a 1-inch square. So if the more pixels you have there, the more defined the shapes will be. Okay? That's how we have to kind of think about that. As it relates to your designs and when you are creating your designs, they ask for 300 DPI because if, let's say, your DTF printer prints like 22 inches, right? So we're going to say 22 times 300. If they go in and they're setting their page up to like 6,600 pixels, if yours was set to something smaller and now they fill it in, like yours really was only 22 times, let's say you were at 100, right? You're only at 22. When they make that 6600, it's going to make it blurry because it just doesn't have not enough pixels were being filled in. So they try and tell you to do like 300 DPI, right? But if you're designing it to scale, I've submitted things that were 100. There's a lot of DTF printers. I purposely set mine to 400 DPI and they still told me that it was the wrong resolution. No, that means you don't know what you're doing. Be very mindful of the people that you are also sending your images out to. Just because they say they have a print shop, there's a lot of people that just got printers because they felt like there was money in making templates and they know nothing about DPI setups. There was somebody on TikTok, really big person, whole business got shut down. She was giving people trash DTF prints. Her white was offset. She just wanted to jump on the transfer trend and she was putting out crap. So much so to where people ran her out and then she reopened up her business under a different name because she had that much bad publicity over her transfers and just not knowing what she was doing. Do understand that there are a lot of people out here who just have these printers and they don't know what they're doing. Okay. Silhouette Studio will, as far as like the resolution, it's kind of like 300 because it's a vector-based program. If you are designing to scale, when you save that, you are in the perfect resolution. I know we get this here sometimes. Don't worry about that. If you are in Essentials of Silhouette Studio, I explain fully why you are getting this notification. I can bring in things that are chef's kiss. They are perfect, and I still get this. You can ignore this. You want to actually look at your image and see if it is blurry, if it is pixelated. Okay. Okay. See, someone says that. No, ignore this. There's a reason why I told you to ignore it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give y'all, like, that's what I have classes for. But I broke that down, right? I'm just going to tell you to ignore it. Now, if you want to know the reason why to ignore it, you got to join the class. But I break that down. There's a certain setting and things of that nature that I explained in my class. But you can ignore that. If you look at it and you know and you see that it is a good quality image. If I was making cupcake toppers, you think I care that this says that this is a low resolution image? If I'm making cupcake toppers? No, I don't care about that because I'm not going to go bigger than 2 inches. Watch this. I'm going to go down, 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 down. Okay, let me get rid of this. Do you see what went away? Do I have that triangle there? Because at 1 inch, that is not low resolution because it was designed that way. Now, if I go and I make this much bigger, I'm going to get that triangle because this was meant to be anywhere from a 1 inch to a 6 inch image. Anything bigger than that, it's basically trying to warn you that you may see some pixelation. This isn't bad. Like, this really isn't that bad. It's just that you can see those color halos right there. It's not going to be super, super sharp. Okay. So let me go back over here to blue. I want one that is, all right. So let's go here. This one says 400, 449. I'm going to go copy image, bring this over here, and I'm going to paste it. We can see this came in really, really small. Let's go find another one. I want one that shows a high number, but okay, this shows 1,000 and some change. All right, so we're going to go copy image and drop this in. See, that came in a lot bigger. If I zoom in on it, do you see how sharp those lines are? Like, I don't start to see any pixel. Like, I have to zoom in a lot to see some pixelation. So we're going to zoom out. Our lines look nice and sharp. This was created, like when they designed it, they were making the shapes, they used a design page that was 300 DPI, or it had a resolution, a resolution of 300. Now you see that more so, like she said, like in Affinity or Photoshop. And let's say we click here. I'm just going to go new file. This is where, when you're using these programs, you have 72. I'm going to go to inches, right? And let's go 5x7. This is still 5x7. Proportionally, it will be 5x7. But at a resolution of 72 pixels per inch, that equals 360 by 504. So if I were to upload that, it would show a pixel, like that number would be 360, 504. As long as you are within 5x7, it would be a really, fairly good resolution, right? If I now take this, I'm going to go back to inches. I'm going to take this up to 100. I'm going to go back to pixels. 500, 700. It doesn't change the size. The size of it is still 5x7. It's just that the design will be within more pixels to make it sharper, especially if you're going to increase the size. If we go back to inches, we make this 300. We go back to pixels. This is now 1500 by 21. The other thing that this does is it affects the size of the file. The number that you see here is not necessarily the size of the file. So if I were to go and save this, I'm going to go save image as, and let's go bingo. 2, and we're going to go save. This file is 154 kilobytes, right? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. I'm going to close. We're going to go File, Open. I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to open up that image. Okay. And I'm going to do it a couple times. File, Open. Let's open up this image again. Oh, well, I got to save it first. I'm under a different name. All right. So, no, you know what? I'll do it like this. This is, let me look at this canvas size. This canvas size is 19. Okay. Let me put this here. So file, no. I'll just say 19.4 and then 26.4. Okay. So I'll just say that. So we're going to go File, New. I'm going to go inches. We're going to go, oh, good. It's already there. Perfect. I'm going to go 72 and create. I'm going to go File, Open. Not File, Open. I'm going to go File, New. File, New. I now want this to be 100. Create. I'm going to go File, New. Go back to inches, make this 100, not do 100, 300, create. Okay, now I'm going to take bingo. We're going to copy him. What am I doing? Duplicate layer. I'm going to send it over to, I tried to right click as if I was in Silhouette Studio. We're going to go over to 1. And then we're going to go over to duplicate. I'm going to save it in number 2, which was the 100. And then we're going to go and duplicate this into number 3. Okay. So over here, nothing changes, right? These two look the same because this was a 72. If I now go to this one, You see how it looks as if it is bigger, like there's more pixels there. He is still the same size. But I'm at 33% here. Under this one, we're at 33%. Look at how it looks zoomed out. We come over here, you're going to end up seeing less of, I guess you can still see the whole thing here. If I go to number 3, look at how small he looks on this 300 DPI. I can't change the way Bluey looks. He was already small. I mean, that's Bluey Bingo looks. He was small. But now if I go and I take this one and I'm going to maximize it to fit here. Okay. I'm going to take this one and we're going to maximize it to fit here. Whoa. This is at 323. This is I'm only at 44. So to zoom in that much on the one that was 300, I can really get in there at 44, whereas with this one, I had to get all the way to 300, and I'm starting to see the pixelation. Over here, if I go to 400 and something, I mean, yeah, we're really, really zoomed in. You're really going to be able to see that because of the number of pixels within that kind of like design. So when you're doing it over here, you're starting in Photoshop, you can control that. When you are creating in Canva, Silhouette Studio, things like that, you don't have that control. All you can do is set it up to scale, guys. That is, I said all of this to get you guys to understand. Just set it up to scale. So if you go to like here, Photoshop, you can kind of go to like 100. So you can kind of see where it's at. And this is when it's printed like this, you're going to see these color halos. If we go here and we go to 100, it's a little bit sharper here. It's actually a better resolution at 100 than it is at 300 DPI because we had to scale it up to fit that same size because it came over a little bit smaller. If I go over to 72 and I go to 100, it looks even sharper because that is the resolution that it was originally designed in. But that when I say originally designed in, that means the person that drew the edges, filled in the colors, did all of that. Not your design and you creating it for a shirt. If you picked an image that was a low resolution image or its original size was small and you're trying to blow it up to fit a billboard, print it out, it's not going to look great. But for a shirt, you could use this and still save it at 300 because that's going to be what, maybe 5 or 6 inches on a kid's shirt. So you would be within range. Now, when it comes to your DTF, I have a video on this. Go check it out on YouTube for a more detailed one. As long as it is to scale, you come over here. They say that your design page, your print page needs to be 22 inches. You're going to go 22 inches by, I'm going to say 36. You're going to get a yard. What is most important is your design. Let me see. I'll just use, I'll go here. Because look at how bad this is. This is like where you guys and people think, oh, well, I want to take this and I want to make it 300 DPI to make it look better. It's never going to look better. It's blurry. It was meant to be 1 inch and it wasn't even like we're at 15 inches. Even at, I'm going to make it smaller. Even at like 3 inches, I could see the color halos in it. So this is at 8. I can tell. I can see the color halos. I can see the blurriness. There is no matter of, okay, well, let me make this a 300 DPI image. I'm going to put this image there and it's going to instantly be better quality. No, you're just going to have 300 DPI of garbage. Okay? You're going to have 300 DPI of garbage. But I'm going to use this kind of like as my example because this has a black outline. Actually, you know what? No, I can bring in the other bluey because that one's saved as a, I mean, I keep saying bingo because that's saved as a PNG. The other thing with, okay, so the other part of that number, it was not just bingo. If I go, back over here, right? In Canva, a lot of you guys do this. Because, and we just talked, I literally just taught this last night in my Canva 101. And I was using the coffee cup. And I was like, well, if you want it to be the same size, like in Photoshop, we can do like remove transparent pixels. And it's going to instantly change the canvas size. You cannot do that in Canva. You cannot technically do that in Silhouette, but Silhouette allows you to save individual elements. If I were to have this image, this is high resolution. I'll even go to, I'm going to go to the one that's on 300 DPI, right? I'm going to come over here. I got to get down to 5% to see the whole thing. I'm going to go Control T, make this smaller, right? This, let's make them a little bit bigger. This page is 300 DPI. But if I go and I save this file, export, quick export as a PNG. Let's see, any comments over here? Hey, Joey. All right, so we're going to go bingo 300. What that resolution also does is like it tells you how many pixels it's supposed to be, right? So remember when I went to the pixels and so it would be, I'm just going to go file new because I forgot. So it is, didn't mean to hit enter. Well, it's like 19 inches or whatever. So if I come over here, I go file, merge, and where did it save that? I have no idea where it saved that. Oh, it went to EEK. Great. Group by, date modified, bingo 300. Okay. I'm going to have all of this extra space around this image. So when I go to remove, trace and detach, it's going to be really small. All right, so where'd it go? Oh, it's not opening yet. That is all like not trimming it down. And when you like, you might see something and it will be like this really high resolution. The resolution on mine now, I'm going to go back over here. Let's just go file, new. I'm going to make this 300. Oh, shoot. Hold on. No. Close. File, new. Ugh, not open. File, new. Okay. So the heck? Come on. I think it's because whoever selected. All right, so let me go over here. I saw a few more. Oh, you see, now that's opening up. You know, when you save multiple images on one page in Canva and then bring them to Silhouette, I notice sometimes your images are touching. How do you save them and then open in Silhouette Studio? Just make sure they're not touching. That's it. And then trace and detach. How did I know the design was 72? It told me right here. Okay, so Come on, what are you doing? Man. Okay. The heck? Okay, what the heck is going on here? All right, what is going on here? All right, I'm going to close. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, see, this came in really, really small. It was 300 DPI because I set the resolution for 300. Well, it was not DPI, it was 300 PPI, pixels per inch, right? 300. But that means that I had all this extra and my design in here was smaller. If I go, so at this size, he looks good. If I blow him up, let's blow him up to match. He might be a little bit bigger. Okay, let's just make him bigger. Or her bigger. Him bigger, her. I always forget which one's a boy, which one's a girl. I know Bluey's a girl. I don't remember if Bingo's a boy or a girl. I think it's a boy. I don't know. Actually, this one isn't that bad in how they look. So that small one at 300 DPI, and it was small in the middle, I blow it up. And the one that was 72, right? They're almost the same. So here it looks a little bit more chiseled, where here it looks a little bit more like, it's kind of like an airbrush look, I guess you would say. So you see here where you can see like they're both kind of still pixelated, but it's just, I actually would prefer this one than this one. Some people may think that this is like smoother, but it looks a little hazy. To me, this is not as sharp as this one. There are color halos around here, where here you just kind of see it here, but you don't see the color halos inside it here. So that's just kind of like the difference. Like this took up, like it was more pixels to kind of fill in the spaces, but it's still not very sharp. But printed out, the average person, they're not going to notice anything with this, right? Then when it comes to DPI, that is resolution, and that's more of a print thing. The printer needs to worry about that. And what's the max resolution of their printer? So let's go over here. Remember, someone asked about printers, right? So if I go over here to this printer, its max resolution is like, I think 24 or 12 something. It is, the max resolution on this is, print resolution 4800 by 1200, meaning it's 4800 little droplets for every single inch. That is DPI, dots per square inch for printing. It's going to print, it has the ability, if you're on the highest setting, to print 4,800 little drops in every square inch, which means this is going to print out and it is going to give you a flawless print based off of whatever was submitted. It's going to give you the best version. If your image was blurry, it's going to give you the best version of this blurry picture. Whereas a printer like the, let's say, even let's just say 15,000, right? So ET 15,000. The max resolution on this is I forgot. Yeah, they always do that with this printer. Like you have to download it. I'm not going through downloading their specs. I think the last time I did this video, I was like, oh yes, they try and hide the specs from you. Let's just look at because the 8550 is a photo one. Let's look at the ET 2800. Oh my God. All of the lower grade printers make you download to get the specs. That is so jacked up. I don't want to download all this extra stuff on my computer. All right, let's see if I can just search it. Epson, I think Office Depot might show it. Epson ET 15,000. Let's see if I can, not Epson, Office Depot. I think Office Depot might show the specs as far as the print resolution. Let's see. Specs. All right, I'm going to have to. Okay, here, capacity, print. This can't be right. Because let me go over here. That seems kind of off. Let's go to Epson ET 16600 because the what's name definitely is not the same print resolution. Definitely not the same print resolution. Duh, this is already Epson. All right, so we're gonna go here. And we're gonna go to specs. Yeah, that can't be correct. I know it's higher. That can't be correct. Specs. There's no way that that's the same. I've done this more than one time, and I know that they're not the same. Okay, hold on. Epson Workforce 7720. Because I want to see something. 48 by 24. This one says This one says 48 by 12. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking of the 7720. So this one says 48 by 1200, where the Workforce was 48 by 24. The ET, this one says theirs is 2800. It's saying that its resolution is higher than the 15,000. Now I gotta go back into my other video. I don't remember it being higher than the 15,000 for the 2800. Interesting. Because I've actually gone through all the printers and went through the print resolution, and I don't remember it being like that. Specs. Uh-oh. Oh. My live went off, so oh well. Don't know what happened. Okay, let's go here. So this one says the 15,000 says it's 48 by 12. So it would be the same as the 16,600 as far as resolution. It's just that one uses dye ink, one uses one uses dye ink, one uses pigment ink. The 2800 is saying that it is about the same. Let me see. ET 2720. Let's see if it still gives information on this printer. I know they don't sell it anymore, but that's so interesting. I don't remember it being this high. I remember doing this video and I don't remember this being 57 by 1440. I really don't. I mean, what's name is still with 24, but I don't remember it being, but that's more so like I was going through all that. I know it's probably things that you guys don't find interesting, but that was really interesting that the DPI for the 2720 is saying that it's higher, like it's puts more dots per square inch than the 16,600 and the workforce. That just seems very weird. ET 8550. Now, I know there are some people that say their 28 or 27 series prints better than their 15,000. I have heard that before. But I swear, I don't remember those small ETs being the same resolution as the workforce printers. And it's better. No, this one's better. So this one is 5760. This one is 4,800. Okay, so that is less. This one is, so according to these specs, the 2,800 and the 8,550 print the same quality. The only difference would be the 2,800 prints a little bit slower. It's 5 pages per minute with color. And then this one prints 12 pages per minute. The 15,000 prints 9. So it will give you good resolution. It's just going to print slower. 3-inch droplet size. This one doesn't say. And this one is also 3. Okay, well, resolution wise, these will print the same. That's more so like what you want to see. You want to know that your printer has the ability to print a really good resolution. 5760 by 1440 is a really good resolution. If it was less than that, and let's say that printer only printed 24 by 24, 1200 by 1200, it's not going to be a really sharp image. That's where print resolution comes in at. What's the quality of the DTF printer, the UV DTF printer, like the company? What's the quality of their printers? That's resolution. Your pixels per inch just determines how smooth or not so smooth those lines are. For these to be the same size, look at the difference in their boxes. This was done at 300 DPI, but the image was very small, but it's still, it was still a lot of pixels, so it doesn't look as blurry. But look at its box compared to this one. that is another thing that kind of like makes that determination. I try. Most people find this information boring until they have questions and they want someone to save them in a group. But most times, they find this to be boring. I still have not had a chance to redo the stone. Had to file a claim on my press and it will be shipped out to be fixed. So yeah, so you think that it was your press and having cold spots. Can't wait to see you try that again once you get the heat press, and make sure that you get a temp gun, and you want to, use it and test it in a few places and make sure that that heat is consistent across the entire thing. It can be, it can vary 1 to 2 degrees, maybe even 5, but it should not be where, okay, you test one corner and then you go to the middle and it's like 10 degrees off. Okay. Yep. So if you're having cold, that's what I'm saying. If you're having cold spots, it shouldn't be 10 degrees off. If it's 1 to 2, maybe even 5. If it's off by 20, that's definitely a big no-no. You want to have that serviced, or if it's still under warranty, see if they can replace that for you. Thanks for the information. Very useful. You're very welcome. So I know it was kind of a roundabout, right? I'm guessing your question came because you are looking to order DTF prints and they are expressing that it should be 300 DPI. If you were using Silhouette Studio, do not save as a PNG, because you can save it at 300 DPI, right? But when you save it as a PNG from Silhouette Studio, it adds this weird halo to it. And so when they get it, and like, let's say you get, you go and you have these white outlines, they're going to say, oh, it's because you didn't save it at 300 DPI. Well, yes, you did. You just saved it at 300 DPI from the wrong program. I do not recommend ever saving as a PNG from Silhouette Studio if you plan to print it. Now, if it's going to be something and you're going to use it in a digital format, and things of that nature, go ahead, have at it. But anything print-wise, do not save it as a PNG from Silhouette Studio. You save it as a PDF, and then you can use Photopea, which is free, or if you have Photoshop, you can use Photoshop, you can use Affinity. Open up that PDF and then save it as a PNG from those platforms. Silhouette Studio is not a great platform to save PNGs for printing purposes. Let me repeat this again. Silhouette Studio is not a great place to save PNGs for printing purposes. All right. And I'll show you on this one why I say that. So we're going to go up to here. We're going to trace and detach. UV DTF order, was just curious since I usually checking Affinity. So people will say that, oh, I'm checking with Affinity. That doesn't really tell you anything, because actually, okay, here's the thing, right? How you would check Affinity is how I checked this one, right? So let's say you open it and you go to now create a new file. And when you go new, if it defaulted to 72, it's probably because that one was set to 72 based on like the size. You can also look at it, like you said, when you go in there, it'll kind of sort of tell you as well. I think somebody asked, like if I go here, it also tells me at the bottom that this is set. Oh, wait, you guys can't see that. It tells me right here at the bottom that this is 72. When I click on this one, it says 72. When I click on this one, it says 100. When I click on this one, it tells me it's 300. So you can kind of tell from there, but it doesn't mean that it's something that is bad. If it was to scale, even at 72, you could still end up with great print. but I wouldn't recommend 72. 72 is when you're going to kind of do things digital. When I did that billboard, that had to be at 72. At 72, that's a smaller file size. Okay. So I'm going to make this smaller. Oh, wait, smaller. Bring it over here. My design page size, we're going to make this 22 by, no, I don't do 22. I do 21.5, and let's go 36. You want to size your items up. If it's for a shirt, if it's supposed to be 11 inches wide, make it 11 inches wide. If it's supposed to be whatever height, you make that and you set it up on this design page. Okay. So I'm going to go File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm going to save this as a PNG. PNG. Bingo. 21.5 by 36. And then I'm going to go and save it as a PDF. Yes, you should be saving it as a PDF. So I'm going to go transparent background. I'm going to take this. See, I can't even do this at a Mac. I can't even make this technically 300 DPI to make it that number, like that pixel size, because of the size of the design page. So I'm going to just max it out. I'm going to go save. Then we're going to go back in and save it as a PDF. Meaning check is high resolution image to begin with, because I made a few changes in Silhouette. I wanted to make sure it's the law. I didn't change anything. So if you brought it into Silhouette, you can't change the resolution of it. So if I bring in this bluey, I'm not changing the resolution of it. How that image was is how that image is, how it's going to be. Now, if you saved it as a PNG from Silhouette Studio, you are going to get color pixels around the edge. And that's a Silhouette glitch, not anything that you have done. That is a glitch within Silhouette on how it saves PNGs. So we're going to go File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, Bingo, 21.5 by 36, and portable document format. I'm going to go over here to Photoshop, File, Open. And we're going to go to Documents. We're going to open up the PNG first. And then I'm going to go File, Open. I'm going to open up the PDF. When I open up the PDF, it's going to give me a window that's going to tell me what this size is. Wait. Okay. It does change it, but that's also because when I come back over here, so this says 18.977 by 14.097. That's because I didn't fill it in. If I were to just go like this, 18.977 by 14.097, that lets me know it did this correctly. So it didn't really give it. It's not going to keep the same 21 by 36 because those are transparent pixels. It doesn't pick up, like it eliminates those transparent pixels. But right here, the resolution is 300. So I'm just going to hit OK. I'm going to put, wrong one, did not mean to do that. I meant to go solid color. And let's just choose a green. And then I'm going to come to this one. I'm going to go solid color. I'm going to choose a green and send that to the back. We're going to zoom in. Do you see right in here along the edge? I'm going to come to this one and zoom in. Actually, no, this one. I probably should have did it with text because these might have already had that color halo on. Okay, let's go back. Let me add shop.hsink365.com. And we're going to go closeness. We're going to make this blue. And I'm going to purposely put this at the bottom. So let's align to the bottom. Align to the, all right, and then let's align to the left. And no line color. Okay, file, save as, save to hard drive. Let's overwrite this one. And then let's do it again for the PNG. Save as, save to hard drive, PNG, okay, yes, file, open, oops, nope, it didn't save yet. Why didn't it update yet? File, open, update, solid color, same behind it. And then file, open. Okay, I don't know why this one didn't save. File, save as, save to hard drive, PDF. Okay, yes. File, open. There we go. And see this one, 21, 5, 36, 300. Okay. Solid color. Okay. Bring that down. Okay. All right. So here, I'm going to can you see right here where it looks kind of grayish right there? I'm going to come to this one. And it does not look gray. You see blue. Yes, you see pixels, right? You see squares. It doesn't look like it's kind of completely curved, but that's because we're super zoomed in and we can see all of the dots. But the major difference is you see how here it's not blue, it's gray. When you do your DTF and they're going to put that white behind it, this is going to show up as white. And it's going to look, and this is why you end up with a white outline around it, because you saved it from Silhouette Studio as a PNG. But as a PDF, we don't get that. So you won't get those white pixels. Do you see the difference in the two? Okay, that's between the H and the S. No, the K, no, HS, the K and the 3. So I'm going to come over here. Let's go back to 100%. And I think I'm showing in between here. Yeah. Okay. And I don't even have to do anything. I can literally see the white outline. Like I can see it on here, even at 100%. If I go 100% here, I don't see it. But if I zoom in between the K and the 3, you see that gray over here? We don't have that. We have colored pixels. So with you saving it from Silhouette, it's not that it's not 300 DPI. So you can take it into Affinity. It's still going to say, well, this one came in, I saved it at 300 and it still came in at 72. But when you do the PDF, it's 300. Hopefully that makes sense. These are the things that, like, discussions that we have in Creative Lounge, in my design classes. My classes are designed to set you up for success. I'm giving you the information and the knowledge that you would learn in a full-on graphic class, which is essential to the business that most of you guys are trying to build. You can't just say, oh, but it's craft, it's not that serious, but then you want to put a price tag on it. You want to monetize it. You want to get orders where someone is paying you their hard-earned money. You need to understand the process fully so that you're also not wasting money and feeling like, oh, well, I don't want to outsource because, oh, I had to get it reprinted and then I had to wait for it, because you simply just did not understand how to properly set it up, especially when it comes to Canva. Setting up gang sheets in Silhouette is a little bit easier than in Canva. Last call for questions, because we've been on for, we end up talking about resolution for quite some time. So we've gone for an hour and 38 minutes. But okay, so before I do that, one of the things I did want to talk about was also just knowing proportion, guys. If you were going to have something that was, let's just say how this is, let's say if it was landscape, and I was to put this here, I have to shrink this down for it to fit top to bottom for the height, not the width. If I did width, it would be stretched out. This particular image is rectangular, but it's top to bottom. It's more portrait, not landscape. So be mindful of that when you're setting your designs up. I'm going to go to and save a design from Canva created by Nola Gal Designs. Okay, close. So let's say I did this one right here. So let's go share, download, page 2, PNG, transparent. Last call for questions, guys. Don't all speak at once. I don't have a problem helping you out. If you're doing this for business, you need to get the information that you need to be successful in business. And I mean real good information, not just the, okay, yeah, make this. Learn to make this new thing. That's how you're going to make money. This is the information that you need to be focused on outside of learning how to properly price. So if I wanted to, I did not hit transparent background. Or is this one of the ones where, I don't know, my Canva has been doing that lately. Like I have to do it twice. That's so weird. I know I hit transparent background. Transparent background. Number 2. Now, see, like the top one probably wouldn't give me a transparent background, but this definitely should. Let me see something. Done. Download. Anyone can ask a question. If they're not going to ask and you have more questions, Dorothy, ask them. If they don't want to take advantage of the opportunity for someone that's very knowledgeable, has 26 years of experience in this, feel free to ask more questions if you're going to take advantage of that opportunity. Yeah, you were the only person that posted a question. Yeah. Oh, no. Well, LaShonda asked a question. And I think Lewis may have as well about, no, did he ask about resolution? No, we got this question about the waste tank. And yeah, that was it. That was it. Okay, yes, I know that one won't have a transparent background because of how it's designed. But this one should. Okay, now it has a transparent background. I was like, what the heck? Okay, so these designs are made to be long. If you put it in something that is square, it's not going to fully fill it, right? So you would end up with all of this white because you cannot stretch it. If you wanted to put this on, say, a mug, which is 10 by 4. It would be this small on a mug. If this was a puzzle and you wanted to fill out as much of the puzzle as possible, and you wanted to go from side to side on the puzzle, or whatever the square item was, a coaster or whatever, you're going to lose see, only here would print because proportionately it does not fit. You can't change or force it to look how you designed it, but put it into something that's a different proportion. It's not going to work. If I wanted this design to fit into a square substrate, it has to be smaller, and you are going to have a bunch of negative space around the sides. There's no way around this. If I were to do a tumbler design, 9.35 by 8.15, same thing. I can't make it a full wrap. I have to make this where it's going to be white, or I'm going to make the whole thing black, or I'm going to make the whole thing red to like fill it so it doesn't look, but I cannot make this fit this tumbler without stretching it out. Those boxes, the Grinch boxes, they are like that top portion is a square. If you go and you try and put this, it's going to either be stretched or it's only going to be like this in the middle of that box. If it's the panel for the side of that box, you need to figure out some other stuff to put on this, because this is going to be this small. It's not going to take up the rest of the side panel. You need to now fill this with some text, some elements, some whoever, whatever. Or you would have to take this design, break it down, and then spread out the images, move the name. So it needs to be in its layered form. Once you flatten it, rasterize it, all the same thing. Once you make it where it's all pixels now, it's all one, it's welded together, it's meshed together, it's saved as a PNG or a JPEG, you don't have the ability to move things around. This is why you want to kind of maintain your file that is like layered. Never overwrite that. I was trying to help someone, and once she saved it as a JPEG, she got rid of her original file that was the layers. Well, now it's not going to fit. She now has to recreate it over to the proper sizing, like in the proper sizing, the proper proportions. This information is essential to your success if you are making customized items, because you don't want to have to go back to the drawing board. You have it in your mind, 13 by 19 for everything, because you're like, you started doing sublimation. When you were doing vinyl and stuff like that, you were a little bit more you thought about sizing a little bit more. You get into sublimation, I just want to, I can do full graphics. I'm going to make it for a shirt. I want to max out 13 by 19, but then you forget about measuring for other things and other layouts. Is it long? Is it square? Is it circle? Is it wide? You have to know these things and go into your design thinking about what it's going to be put on. I see LJ Walker, she's commenting. She does like journals and e-guides and stuff like that for KDP. There is a certain dimension that she has to set that to in order for it to print properly on, like for this book, right? There is a bleed area that you need to have, because depending on how they're doing their covers, if they roll the edges of your print to the inside cover and then put the paper on top, if your design went all the way to the edge and you did not leave a bleed on it, then the main part of your design would wrap around the edges. These are things that you're not going to find in your typical tutorial videos. It's going to break that down. This is the information that you find out when you invest in a graphic designing program. Okay, so quick question. I don't understand the purpose of the Grinch boxes. Are they just, they're just decorative boxes to put. My son said it would be kind of cool, like if you're going to watch Christmas movies and stuff like that. Because they just put a chip, Capri Sun, like they just put like just different things in it. Some people put in Pringles in it. It's kind of a waste. It's just something for them to give them. I don't understand, like it's the Grinch that stole. I'm not sure why this trend started. One person did it, and crafters, oh my God, it's so cute. It's so cute. You got a template. And it just kind of, it just doesn't make any sense. Some people do them, decorated box. I've seen like this year, where it's like the Christmas theme, Paw Patrol, is just to give the kids junk food, basically. It's like a little gift box. Some people are taking it to the level of customizing, like wrapping the chips and stuff with the kid's name on it. I just think that is so not productive as a business to have to change out individual names. I can see if you had these Grinch boxes and everybody got the same thing, maybe just having the name on the very top panel. But I've seen some people do it where the top panel, the side, everywhere there's this kid's name. Why does the kid's name need to be on every single panel? Just put it on the top. Your sides could all be standard, and all you have to worry about is matching, just putting the top. and it makes less work for you. In business, you should not, like, you want to be able to recreate something. You want to be able to turn over and produce, especially if you're charging the prices that some of you guys are charging. You're doing one of a kind, special order. I cannot utilize this. I'm not going to find somebody else whose name is Zion Imani. Like, because that's his first name. I might find a Zion. I might find an Imani. I don't think there's kids out there whose name is Zion Imani. That's their first name. I don't think there's kids out there where their first name is Makai Jeremiah. Maybe Makai, maybe Jeremiah, but not Makai Jeremiah. So I cannot reuse this. I have to make this for each individual person. You have to then make sure that you are matching up the name for this. It takes so much energy for y'all to make $5. However, the rich, when they want something that's very unique, it's one of a kind, it's a higher price point. If people were charging the proper amount to do these things individually for each kid, I wouldn't bet, hey, get your money. For some chips, a Capri Sun, some Pringles, a Rice Krispie treats. Yeah, charge $50, $100 because I'm doing this individually, and I have to take all this brain power. But of course, no one's going to see the value in that. They're not going to see spending $100 just to get a chip bag that's going to get ripped open and thrown in the garbage. A Pringles is going to get ripped open and thrown in the garbage. Stop personalizing everything. You want to do it, make it to where you can batch print and you can literally have an assembly line and you're going to pack them up. Companies like hair oils, they're not personalizing each bottle. You place your order, you're going to get this. It's going to make it easier to turn over and get those orders out. So I personally don't understand why crafters kind of grab it. If you're doing it for your own, no. Crafters, I can understand. I want to DIY this for my kid. I'm not trying to do 30,000 orders of these. I want to be able to go find me a couple boxes, do this for my kids, maybe some family members. But monetize, some people make good money. Well, I'm gonna say they make good money. I'm gonna say they have a bunch. To some, making $5 based off of their time and labor put in, they consider that to be good money. I don't. Ask your questions because sometimes people don't know what they don't know until someone else brings it up. But it's too many people watching for her to be the only person asking questions. Because unless everybody that's watching is, if they didn't need any help, they would not be on this video. They wouldn't be on this live video because I'm here to help. I'm here to help beginners, help you with the things that you don't know. So normally if someone is following a craft coach, some sort of teacher, they're looking to us because they don't know something, right? So they have questions. They've searched YouTube for things. They've maybe posted a question in a group, but for some reason they get on here, they don't open their mouths. So how can you create an intricate mandala? Or I don't do those. You cannot. I mean, that's something where someone is drawing those. So unless you are going to go in and you're going to do your shapes and you're going to weld them together and put outlines, that's not something that you're doing necessarily in like silhouette. Like they're not really doing that in vector. That's something that someone is drawing out. So you have to be an artist for that. What are the best tips for using the nesting feature for maximum efficiency in large batch products? I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't like nesting isn't really. Yeah, like, okay, let's just take for instance this. Nesting wouldn't really help you any with something like this. Now, let's say if it was a print, let me see, that has outlines on it. No, not that one. I think it's this one. Yeah. So let's say if I was making a bunch of stickers and I wanted to maximize the space. So we're going to go down to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to make some 2-inch stickers. And on. So if I were to simply fill the page, it's going to leave a lot of extra space between them. Now, I know that I can go through. I'm going to put this one here. So if I go like this, I may not get right close to it. And I really, really want to maximize. I'm going to cut these out myself. I want to preserve paper so that I'm not using so many of them. If I can squeeze all of my prints, I'm going to take these off. I'm going to put these stickers on something myself. I want to get as many as possible. Sometimes I will rotate it, and I'm barely like, see, I can make this really, really close just by rotating it. And now it's alternating, right? So you can do that manually. Nesting will kind of sort of do that for you, where it's just going to put them as close together as possible. Now, like this one, I really could have moved this up here, so it wasn't like the greatest. Well, maybe, let's see. So like in there. So it's basically going to do, instead of you rotating it and fitting it in there, it's going to do it for you and rotate as many copies as needed. But you would need, like, you still kind of have to know like how many needs to go there. So I'll just go. I don't think this is enough. Yeah. So I'll take a few more. And see, once they start to overlap, I know I need to take some away. And I probably could have got one more right there. So even with nesting, and it's like, it's not going to be any rhyme or reason. This is not something that you would probably want to send to a client because it's going to be all in and out, in and out, in and out. But this works when you, like I said, if you are going to do you just want it to cut and it's for your purposes, I would never sell this to a client this way. I like for it to have some sort of uniformity, but for myself, I'd rather arrange mine myself, but because sometimes to me it's a little bit too close, or I want to put extras in there by like rotating it like that. I can probably fit. Could I fit another? Well, let me see if I move this one here. I could definitely fit another one here. So that's all it is. It's literally just packing a bunch of ish in for stuff like this. If you do it for like words for vinyl, you have to make sure that they are a compound path. If not, all the letters are going to just be all over the place. So just be mindful of that. How can we create and export custom line styles and dashes for unique effects? How can we create? Export just means to save it. So you're going to create it and you're going to save it. That means it has to already be in the shape. So I'm not sure what you mean as far as unique effects on projects, because it's going to be for that one. So you're creating the design if you want it to look like Stitch. So I'm not sure what you mean as far as like when it comes to just dashes, you would use the dash line and then convert it to a path, or detach the line so that it becomes a path and it doesn't stay as just a cut line. Because baby, that workbook gave me the blues on that last page when uploading to KDP. I've heard someone speak today that RGB and CMYK colors are very close. In my opinion, the blues and they are definitely not close. I've actually talked about that. They are not close. It depends on what it is. So let's say we go over here. Well, damn. Okay. Right now, this is in RGB. If I go CMYK, don't merge. Okay. You're not going to see a really big difference. Okay. I'm going to go image mode RGB. The blue changes. Oh, you can't even see it. The blue changes ever so slightly. Let me see, file open. Let's do, I showed it with this one. a couple weeks ago. So we're going to go here, right? We are currently in RGB. If I go CMYK, look at, it's more so like Joy's hair, and on we, I think some of the colors change in here. So edit, undo. So you see how Joy's hair changed, certain reds and stuff, because CMYK, like just your cyan, magenta, yellow mixed together can create those ranges. It may not be a big change. Oh, I know a good one to show. File, open. We're going to go here. Actually, do I already have it? Hold on, cancel. Is it already? Dang it. All right, let me see. Is it already here? No, it's not. Ooh, but this is another one that might show it because of that purple in the background. But the logo that I did for the PTA for my son's school, I'm going to open up that one. So let's go over here while that's doing its thing. We're going to come to here and I'm going to go Huskies. How do you create the shadows when creating words? Which program are you referring to? Which program are you referring to? Oh, okay, my bad. I see it here. I just downloaded Silhouettes. I'm new at that, but I have a Cricut Maker 3. So you want to know how to add shadows. You cannot, I'll come back over here. You cannot add a drop shadow, meaning the edges will be soft. So you cannot do that in Silhouette. You would do a vector shadow, which is just kind of a rep, like a duplicate of it without any, like only like the colors like black, or you can make it blue, whoever, whatever. It's going to be the same no matter what. So I can show it with this or with text. If you have Designer Edition or above, there is an icon. So under image effects, it's going to be this window right here. And you will go to the last option. You'll click here for shadow. And then you will change the shadow color to black and then adjust your transparency. So that's going to give you a shadow. Text is going to be the same way, but the edges are not blurred. It's not like a shadow in Canva or Photoshop where it's pixels and it's blurred out. You can only do a vector shadow. If you do not have Designer Edition or above, you will, of course, if it's an image, you do need to trace and detach it. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to simply fill it in with black, take my transparency down, send it to the back, and then just move it around, and it becomes your shadow. Text would be the same exact way. Okay, come on. What are you thinking about? Okay, I don't know what that is. File, open. Let's go here, and then okay, so we see the way these blues are here. This is RGB. When I go and change it to CMYK, look at how dark the colors become. So it's only certain colors that are affected by it, because just printing with just cyan, magenta, yellow, you would not be able to get that range. Now, there are printers that don't use CMYK, which is why I can't stand when people say, oh, for printing it's CMYK, because you have some printers that use your regular standard CMYK, but they also use like light cyan, light magenta. There are bigger Epson printers that have a red, they have an orange, they have a bunch of colors to give you more, like a bunch of inks to give you more richer colors. And that's not printing in CMYK, that's printing in RGB. But when you send stuff to a printer for DTF, the way the RIP software is, it has to be in CMYK. So if you were to send something like this to a DTF printer, but when you designed it in Canva, Silhouette, hell, even if you had it on RGB in Photoshop, it would have been this super, well, I can't even go back. So it's a little bit different now because I went back to RGB. You can see it. So it didn't really change it as much now because we went back to CMYK. We went to CMYK. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to change it. So it doesn't really change as much. I'm going to undo to the original color. So this particular blue is not a range that will pick up under CMYK, the standard CMYK. But if the printer had, other color channels, it could give us this shade of blue. But when I did submit this to the DTF printer, I don't have the bright blue. It muted the blue. So colors are not the same. Some kind of, sort of, but not all. Anything that's a super bright type color, you're not going to be able to accomplish in CMYK. So let's say I'm going to do like a see how dull that became? So that bright magenta or pop pink color, we cannot accomplish that. Those neon type colors, we cannot accomplish that in CMYK mode. So what about when you're ready to cut? And you want to cut it with it, you just go to, so it depends on like let's say we did this one. When you're going to go and cut it, I'll just copy and open this in a new window. Actually, you know what? No, I'll leave it here. We're going to go to send. And you see how it's going to want to cut both pieces. You select them and go cut edge. And it will cut the shadow. It'll cut like to the outside of the shadow on this side. On this side, it's touching the image. So instead of just regular cut, you choose cut edge. Hi, bud.
What are you making?
I'm not making anything. I'm teaching.
So you have to make Bingo?
Yeah, Is Bingo a boy or a girl?
Bingo.
Oh, Bingo's a girl. Okay. And Bluey's a girl too, right? Bluey's a girl?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're both a girl.
They're both girls? Okay. I wasn't sure if Bingo was boy or girl because I kept saying he. I was like, I think it's a girl. Okay. All right. Good night. I love you.
Can you take bath?
No, not yet.
Go on. Go hush yourself.
When I get ready for bed? Okay, so you was in bed. I had to mute y'all because homeboy tried to play me. That boy tried to go, okay, you took a bath, go wash your boy. Oh my gosh. She says, nope. Your babies are the first I've heard of with both names as first names. How do you approach designing 3D objects for templates and silhouettes, such as boxes or multi-dimensional decor? That's kind of hard to because if it's 3D, it depends on like what it is you're doing. I'll just show you from, and what I like to do is like how I learned to kind of create them is like deconstructing something that was already 3D. You kind of have to have some design skills and some, not say design, some artistry skills to where you know, will create, you know, whatever it is. So let's say if I wanted to make like a castle, I would probably bring a picture in of a castle and make all of the shapes and weld them and do all those things. And then to make it 3D, it's adding flaps to it. So if I go to the library, I'm going to just search 3D. Let's just do this vase because it's going to have some curved areas. And then a box, we can do this one as well. So you see how this is? Whenever you're doing anything curved, it has like little notches in it. That's how you get it to bend. When you are doing something that is just a straight box, you still have to have those dotted lines, but you have to know the angles in which to fold them, and then you'll have like dotted lines. So with this one, it has part of it attached. So for the lid of it, because it's so small, it has like the main part here, and then the parts that you tape, you glue going around is technically attached to it. There's other ones where this would be separate. We're going to ungroup. So I'm going to delete point on all of these. I need to fill this space in with and this is just one of the ways, because I really would have done this by splitting the lines. So now, instead of it being attached, this would be the lid. And then I would take this piece. Good night, son. Mwah. And it will just close the door. It will just print out or cut out, and it would be glued to all of the panels here versus having it already attached. So it's just two, and that, like, I may want to do it that way so that I could maximize how many I can fit on a page. So like this. Ungroup. Group. Like I have to be very strategic and then like rotate. So I couldn't even really get like 4 across on this. And oh wait, let's move this one and rotate it. So I can get 4 on here, right? If it was 12 by 12. But if I broke that up, can I get, okay, hold on, let's see. Here is where nesting may also come in handy. Let's see if I nested, if it will give it to me in a way. Oh yeah, see, it put them close together, but it made it where I could get 5 on here, 5 boxes instead of 4. It's going to cut these really, really, really close together. I probably could have moved these. No, I'm just not going to be able to move it. I was like saying to make. Oh no, it's not. It's not completely close together. They got some space in between it. So that again, that's where nesting would come into play, because instead of doing 4, I now have. I'm able to do 5. And that can be, a big difference. Like if you only had a certain amount of paper and you needed to maximize it compared to like buying a whole new pack of paper just to print 1 more or 2 more, knowing how to split this up or just changing the orientation of it, changes. It's going to get the same result in how you glue it together. It just changes how many you can make. Make sense? Yes, CMYK equals cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Yes. ChatGPT told me to ask you that. I asked them to give me some advanced questions to ask you. Seriously? Oh, wow. I've never tried using the nesting panel. Actually, never thought of a reason to use it. What is what? I'm not sure what your question is. What is this? Which could be a major difference, especially for logos, I'm guessing. Yeah, for logos, the color difference could be extremely important, especially in logos. Yes. No, he tried to play me. I usually make it first with paper as a prototype, then take out the ruler, measure every fold, use a shape and silhouette, draw the prototype when it's flat. Maybe that helps. I mean, yeah, so you can start that way with attempting to do it with paper first and then just translating that into the proper sizing. So I've done it that way too. But I'm at a point now to where if I know the size something is supposed to be, I can just make it that size in silhouette. Or like I said, if you make a paper prototype, there is a way to do it where I will create that. I will then completely tear it apart. I'm going to go over my fold lines with a Sharpie, and then I'm going to scan it. And then once I scan it, I can trace it and kind of tweak it a little bit. I don't have to do a whole lot of measuring. So it just depends. There's a lot of ways to make templates. All right, y'all. We've been on for 2 hours. Thank you, LaShonda and ChatGPT and Dorothy for asking questions, because they were just sitting around. I'm hoping because they didn't ask any questions, they at the very least, if they sat here soaking up all of this great information based off of your questions, it was at least worth a like. It was at least worth a share, a subscribe, a follow, since they did not contribute to the information in the live video. I'm hoping they shared some digital love and some digital currency, and they at least shared the video or like the video at the very least. Maybe maybe they made a comment in the beginning that said hello and helped our algorithm out, since they did not bother to ask any questions. All right, and with that, if you are not enrolled in Creative Lounge, it's a subscription based, but it's chock full of information. We have weekly sessions, especially on designing right now up to the end of the year. Like our design challenges are within the Creative Lounge. We had an amazing Canva session yesterday. That was those who were in Creative Lounge, they have access to that Canva class. We're going to go over some more Canva stuff on Friday, because that's our next Creative Lounge session. And then we have pro calls next week and another design session. And then I have to figure out the schedule for December, because I try and keep it light in December to spend time with the kids once they are out of school. So I try and keep that pretty light in December. And then we have a lot of a la carte classes coming up, so stay connected for that. Black Friday, you'll be able to take advantage of like great deals on our previously recorded classes. And yeah, so just be on the lookout for all of that. All those who are in Design Challenge, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I mean, in the Creative Lounge, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We are going to go over things that you should know as far as the TV trays, and everyone's kind of, in an uproar about, am I making one? Absolutely not. I don't deal with epoxy. So even if I was to do one, you guys would see it with me just putting a print on top. I'm not going through the process of spray painting it. For me, that's not something that's a part of my business. I'm not really in the business of selling these trays. I'm not the type of person where I jump on every single creative thing or crafty thing to make money in my business. I'm pretty solid in the things I do. I don't feel like I'm missing out on money by not doing trays, because it's just the process for that, having to go out. I'm not willing to mess up my grass. And even if you put down stuff, spray paint goes everywhere. I just no. But there are some people that is their full on business is making those trays. There's a guy on YouTube, on TikTok, that is what he literally produces trays all the time. So he's getting them at a great price. He's not buying all of them like retail. He's getting really, really great prices for the blank, just the standard tables. That's when you're in business. You're doing them and you are maximizing your profit by buying things in bulk, buying them wholesale, buying them at resale prices, and keeping a bunch of spray paint, and not just buying spray paint for one or two things. And you didn't even account for the fact that you purchased this blue spray paint. It's only going to be for one table, and you didn't put that in your pricing to pay for this full $5. Well, the spray paint that I use is like $5-6. I don't use the cheap spray paint. And you didn't account for that. So now you're just stuck with all this spray paint. But when somebody is doing this, it's like, they're able to adjust their prices some, because they know that one can of spray paint would do a couple of them and things like that. So for some, that is their full-on business, making these trays. For others, it's something that's seasonal. They may not have a whole lot going on right now. If you decide to do it and you do have a lot of stuff going on, be mindful that those can take up a lot of space, because they need to be opened up. So think about how much space you have and how many orders you can take based off of the space that you have to work in, to spray paint them, to have them sit open while your epoxy cures. These are all of the things that people don't talk about when they're teaching you this and saying, sell, sell, sell. Okay, you can make good money off them if you are doing them in high volume. Do you have the capacity to do high volume? So I'm just focusing on the design part. What you do with that is up to you. Okay? That part is up to you. So for some, I guess it's entertainment. So she says, you kept me company while I made 100 favorite boxes. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and tips. And it's things like that. Like some people, their business model is to make hundreds of things. I am one where certain things I like bulk. When it comes to shirts, I can do 200, 300, 400 shirts. I have multiple heat presses. I'm going to choose a method where I'm pressing for 7 seconds, i.e. most times screen print. Will I ever do 400 sublimation shirts? Absolutely not. I have a max on that. But if it's something like screen print, I probably would never do DTF. If it's that many shirts, DTF is not profitable when you're talking about 400 shirts or 200 shirts or 300 shirts. DTF is good for onesies and twosies. So if I was doing that many of them, I can do shirts. But my limit, like I was an event and I was an event planner, going there, planning, doing the decorating, setting up. And hunty, don't come to me if you're the person you're like, oh, I want 48 chip bags. I want 50 chip bags. I want 100 chip bags. Get somebody else to do it. Well, I'll do the design. I'm gonna tell you this person's invoice for them to do it. Shakeya. And at the time, elite events and creations, baby, we were not doing my max. And I mean, I tried to discourage 24. I liked 12, like make them in dozens. I did not have these packages that offered 48. I'm not making no 48, no 24 chip bags and 24 Capri Suns and 24 Pringles. Oh, not I said the cat. Let's spread this love. Okay, some people gonna get chips, some people gonna get Pringles. We might do 24 total, but it's gonna be one set of 12 and one set of 12. I can't do 24 of each one. Some people, it works for them. Know what works for you. And I never felt like I was missing out on anything, that I wasn't making money. Very successful, very, very much successful, very not stressed. Very well, not because of that. When I didn't get any sleep, it was because I was doing a whole lot of other things and I was building, props and doing printing cuts and doing a whole lot of other things for the party setup. But doing all of that, I quickly learned to outsource them. I create the designs. I would outsource the making of them if I was doing a full-on party. I'm one of those people like that. As an event planner, I realized, okay, there's some other things I can spend my time on. So I'll create the design so everything is cohesive. But I had several, I'm going to say crafters like other people. Hey, here's a design. They want however many chip bags. This is the print. They're able to print them off. I remember it was a couple of times where I even printed them out, provided the prints. Here you go. I'll even bring you the chips. I'm not gluing all of these and doing all that stuff. Hey, she was able to make money and I was not stressed about them. But 100 favorite boxes, not I said the cat. I'm not doing it. I am not a machine. We do not have this mate. Now, if I had machinery that would do the full on die cut and that was folding them, yes, we can do that many. But by my hands, no ma'am, no ham, no Pam. Nope. So I mean, my hat's off to you, child. You should see me. I am doing the whole little bow to you because to do 100 boxes, I remember I had to do a bunch of mugs and I just watched somebody. I think she said, did she do 1,000 mugs? Was it 1,000 mugs? And she was doing them with a mug press. I was like, girl, no. The way I would have went to get mug sleeves and put that design on there and threw them suckers in an oven to where multiples can get done, but doing 4 at a time. Oh, hunty, could not do it. Can't do it. Not I said the cat. Tumblers, she says, exactly. I'm not doing it. Tumblers, I can do that many. I'll sit in front of the TV and wrap them. I'm putting 20 of them in the oven at one time. Will I ever do that many? Talking about something pressing it with a tumbler press, and you got to press, turn, press, pull it to the end, press, turn, press, flip it, press, turn. Who? Not I said the cat, the dog, or the frog. Not gonna happen. But there's a lot of people that do it, and my hat's off to them. I'm a bit moved on to the next order while they're still working on that one. I can't do it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Certain things I'm just gonna pass on. I would have went and brought a used kitchen stove. Why buy a used one? I'm gonna use the same one that's in my house because it's not toxic, no matter what anyone tells you. So yeah, those like that. I'm not. Well, I could probably get a used one to double up, and that way I can do 40 at a time. But I wouldn't do it to where I'm doing that exclusively because it's not toxic. So yeah. Now maybe to go and do them and do more than one batch at a time. But yeah, I'm gonna use the oven that's sitting right there. Do it all the time, especially when using honestly speaking summation paper and ink. So, all right, y'all. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I gotta go. Visit the website. Another way to support. If the information helped you, if LaShonda's Chat GPT questions helped you, um, you can show your support by visiting our website. We have the best sublimation paper and ink, y'all. You don't have to, I'm not saying you gotta, I know you like loyalty, but it's okay to try different things the same way you get burgers from McDonald's, burgers from Burger King, Checkers, Five Guys, Wendy's. You got different taste buds, right? We get chicken from this place, that place. Unless you're the person that gets your burgers only from one place and you would drive forever in a day to get that burger. If you get your fried chicken, your chicken wing, your 10-piece chicken wings from one place, okay, then you are a person that's very, very loyal. I get it. You don't want to switch out your paper, but you can at least give it a try. We do have a few sample packs available, but you can get the 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 8.5 by 11, 14 are the same price right now. So you get more bang for your buck by getting 8.5 by 14 if you want to just try it out. And if you ever want to try out one of our classes and just see how I teach, not in a live setting. I am very detailed on here, but I can promise you classes, it's a whole different level in how I teach. So if you want to kind of experience that, we do have the design challenges. Design challenges don't go on sale for Black Friday. So if you want to try this out, you're going to buy them at $5.63. They do not go on sale. They're already $5. I'm not giving away for $1. My processing fee costs more than that. So they won't be a part of the sales, but some of the $25, $30 classes will be on sale. But you want to try it out, just see how I teach. The design challenges from last year is where you want to go at, okay? All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. She says, wasn't hard. I used my silhouette to make the custom monograms, the boxes I brought online. Oh, okay. So you were not like putting them together. You just had to put a monogram on the box. Okay. That's not that bad. Now, that's not that bad. Now, I have done that. Like, I can see doing that. If it's pre-made boxes, I'm just putting them together and I'm just putting like a sticker on it, like, or vinyl or decal, something like that. But now, if it was like, I got to cut out and I got to glue, like put glue or put pop dots and then put them on the boxes. Now, see, that's not going to happen. If I had to wrap all of them in like ribbon and stuff, that's not going to happen. Mm-mm. Back in the day, I would probably pay someone. I'll pay someone to do it. Definitely pay. I'm all about. I'm okay if I only made $10 off of that portion of the order. I was okay with that because I ain't do no work. I got paid $10 to do nothing, and somebody else got the labor for that. But yeah, yeah, I don't think I could do the ribbon. That's a lot. She says, yes, my days of cutting the boxes individual long behind me. But there are some crafters that, they feel like that's how they are going to make money. They feel like they're saving. And I'm not keep saying buy, but, you don't brought us some other stuff. But they feel like they are pocketing or profiting more instead of going out to buy the box. They see the price tag on the boxes and they think that they're losing out, not realizing how much time that's going to take and changing out papers, and it's not sometimes not as sturdy and different things like that. Like I'm gonna buy a box every single time. Yes. I'm gonna buy a box. All right, y'all. Peace out. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible.